Hey team, how we going? It is Kaz from In the Trenches with Kaz, with lovely Lauren, and here we are. The fat lady didn't sing, which means the show must go on. We've had more technical issues than a colourblind dentist in a blackout, but here we are. So I'll quickly let them know what's going on. Josh, thank you for your support, mate. And we've got the mechanic here. Maybe that's what we needed, a little bit of mechanical assistance. We're going to throw this one at you today just to make you smile a little bit as we say goodbye to summer. And I don't mean summer bright. You can still buy that by the carton. But here we go. A little bit of Leo won what looks like Bernie Sanders. We could all wish for. And it's just a stream where you get to ask me any question in the absence of the script that I'd prepared being unprepared, because I can't give you an excuse if it's not up. I'm going to show you the slideshow that I presented before out of complete randomness for your entertainment. But for some reason, it's flipped it around. The colours saturation has come right down. It's a bloody mess. But I'll put it on anyway so you get to enjoy it in a minute. But this is a good way to start spring. Yeah? Spring.
No.
Autumn. Autumn, when the leaves fall. Japanese maples. Littering. Damn nature.
Yep. Mine's just started turning bright red.
Oh.
Yep.
So Lauren, before we get into this, we've got AM here. He's about to go in the next couple of days. G'day team. This time next week, I'll be in Sydney waiting to travel to prepare for the next day in order to quit on the first night due to depression.
No, come on.
No, I know he won't do it now.
Yeah. And young Anthony, who was actually, I believe, technically the first comment, said last week before we all head off. So must be a few folk going, I think.
There is a fair few folk going. And is there something irony when people are going in the Ides of March, the month where Julius Caesar was killed, assassinated, for doing exactly the same, pretty much as what President 45 had done. Also, you're going in March to March. The pun doesn't escape me. It actually makes me want a hot cross bun doused in butter. That'll harden your arteries. If they're harder, they must be better.
I don't know if that's true. First of the moderators rolling in. Simon Powell is here. Hey, Kirsten's here. It's nice to see you. Haven't seen you for a while, Kirsten.
Kirsten Dunst?
Doing really good.
Not Kirsten Dunst, is it?
No, you know, it's our Kirsten.
Here we are. The team has arrived. This is how we feel sometimes. What you guys are looking up going, Kaz, don't bore me. What do you got? So this is me handing over to you tonight to say, test me. Ask a question. Surprise me. Let's see how we go.
Ready?
Let's go.
Okay, there's a couple. This one I know you will have an opinion on. and maybe it might not be what the person wants to hear.
Okay.
Bryce has asked, G'day Kaz, I was wondering, is it weird that I want to go to war, I want to do infantry, and I just feel like going to war? I could because of Full Metal Jacket and others, but I don't want to feel weird.
Look, there's nothing wrong with saying that question, but this is the place to say it. Don't say it at recruiting or you'll never get in.
Exactly.
It's an immature answer. It means it's the same reason why all the Anzacs thought they were going over. It's one of the most famous sayings is be very careful what you wish for,
Exactly.
what it looks like. It doesn't look like the movies.
Yeah, no, war is hell. You should have heard that by now, and that's not just a catchphrase. It's awful. Read about even Australia's history in war and read the detailed accounts and, you know, have a realistic view of it. Perhaps Bryce is very young, I think.
Yep, and that's fine. But, you know, he came on here, he asked the question, we said test us, he tested us. Just remember, mate, there's you can't get rid of the smells. You can't get rid of the sights. You can't choose what stays with you. And what you call war is a lot more complicated. You know, it's never as even. It doesn't show the feelings. It's like a bar fight in a Western where it looks like when you get punched in the face, it doesn't hurt.
Do you want another question?
Yeah, throw one.
Corey Corey Jones wants to know, hey Kaz, why doesn't artillery get a bad rap? He may have meant why does. Yes, he's corrected it. Why does artillery get a bad rap? Do they?
They do get a bad rap, but that's because they teeter on the support and arms corps sort of area because they're so far back from the fight. They don't see the enemy that they engage, but have all the reputations without the risk of being in an arms corps. But that goes back eons. That is not just artillery. That's archers. You know, the prize for infantry, for cavalry, was to get around and maneuver around behind those that throw punches that can't defend themselves when they get hit back. Okay, that's why they used to cut the archers' fingers off to teach them a lesson for firing arrows instead of picking up a sword and fighting. You know, but a lot of it is also just the fact they have a different rank system, bombardier. It sounds stupid, you know, but there's a lot of in military competition. So they tease us, we tease them. I don't think there's anything particularly personal about it.
No. No, for sure. It's banter. Not everyone can handle the banter, as we know. Okay, Yaros, you're going to feel like
kebab, man. Ooh, garlic sauce and heartburn. Thank you, right there.
Yum, though. Got some good news today. OSB on the 27th of March. Very exciting.
OSB, you and I need to have a conversation. You know that kebab? Maybe over a kebab, the length of time it takes to eat a kebab. I love the OSB conversations because it's common sense based with delivering some questions of what I personally want you to know and be able to answer if I was the one on this side of the table asking that question, because in fact I have been that person many, many times. So I know what to ask you so that you start to critically ask yourself the questions, prepare yourself, and it doesn't mean you don't have leadership if you can't answer initially.
Okay, questions coming thick and fast. Are you ready for another one?
Let's go. In slips.
Okay, No has asked, hi Kaz, does joining the Army Cadets help with getting into the Army later in life?
Yes and no. I would say it does prepare you for especially Kapuka. Okay, but it doesn't help you get into the military. You know, it doesn't help you. You know, it doesn't give you qualifications that move over or are recognised because they're of an adolescent passing level, standards, etc. That's all right. Keeps you off the streets, keeps you out of trouble, teaches you a bit of team, teaches you how to wear a uniform, craftsman traditions.
Exactly, and I'd suggest maybe any organisation, community organisation or team organisation would probably look quite good on your resume anyway, whether it's for the Army or for anything else. So it shows that you can work as a team. So it's, you know, it's not a bad thing to do while you're finishing school. You know, it's not a bad thing to do. Won't hurt.
No.
Okay, Jackson Middleton, who is a member, has said...
Action, Jackson.
I heard you say get Army fit before you join. What would you say Army fit is?
Oh, mate, to me, Army fit, and I had a fantastic conversation with someone who inspires me and motivates me and also gives me tackling fuel for videos to come. And that is Carl, who dances, chooses to live on the ceiling with Lionel Richie. He is a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old, Lincoln and Justin, who followed the actions of their father, who decided to follow his calling later in life. He's a professional tradesman, and now he's going for the Army Reserve, and he began running. Now, when they followed him, they don't look at a test. They don't look at a beep test. They don't look at a 2.4. They go, what is fit and what is not? And fit is always cracking at your personal bests, is having an active lifestyle, is being able to recover quickly, is being able to have muscular endurance, is knowing what it's like to do manual labour. If you can do these things, then you're prepared. But if you train for a test, you will get to the standard of that test and then think that's enough when it's not. You know, the fitness requirement has never been lower than what it is at Kapuka right now, maybe ever. With no physical test that can actually have you prevented from going into the next stage of training, which will be an absolute slap in the face ambush to you if you're going to infantry, which has standards from day one. You know, just surviving in the wilderness, in the area of objectives, digging, defence, assaults, pack marches. It's not something that is a 2.4 that is over in 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 13 minutes, 45 kilometres for the walk, 45 minutes. It could be a 40 kilometre pack march. You know, it could be just surviving in the jungle, walking with a 30 to 50 kilo pack all day in the rain with a limited amount of food, no proteins, etc. So don't train for the PFA, train to far exceed that, but train smartly. Okay, what Carl does with Lincoln and Justin is develop a diagnostic. You need to know, and I'm going to bring out a video on this real soon. Okay, you need to know, how long does it take me to run 2.4? Can I run 2.4 without stopping? What about 5Ks? How fast can I run 1 kilometre? And then when I do it again, can I beat it? And if I do it again, can I beat it? And when I spoke to Carl, Lincoln, and Justin, this is some of the timings they came up with. So thank you for your question. Lincoln ran 5 minutes and 27 seconds, the first time he's ever run a kilometre, and he's 9 years old. Okay? Sorry, he's 10. No, he's 9 years old, and he beat his PB by 1 minute. Okay, fantastic. You can't do better than beat a PB. And as you beat the next one, not only do you get better, fitter, more resilient, push yourself harder, but it gets tougher when you're against yourself. Justin got 5:09. Okay, that's his first time ever. He's 10 years old, and that's now his benchmark, his diagnostic. Carl got 3 minutes 54. Okay, then 3 minutes 57 for his second. So what we said is, what you should do is not go out there and try to run 5K straight away. Don't go and do 2.4 straight away. Find a kilometre track. Make a kilometre track flat. Grab yourself some good shoes. Foot Locker, not Rebel Sport. Okay, the shoes that came to you, not that you came to them. And then from there, see how fast you can run a 1 kilometre. Have 20 minutes off. You know, so you start to work at that recovery, and then do it again. Have 20 minutes off, then do it again. Then add the 3 times together and divide it by 3, and that becomes your average over 3 kilometres in individual splits. And then that's the PB that you need to be beating. And if you do that and you continue to beat that, you're going to be more than army fit. You're going to be you fit. You're going to be the best version of you. You can do the same with push-ups. You can do the same with the planking. You can do the same with dips. Look at the videos on YouTube. Use the tools, the 3-second cadence for push-ups, sit-ups, etc. And have fun with it. But be active, and then you'll be army fit. And we'll know it when we look you in the eye. Right.
Ready?
Mr. Squiggle. Yep.
Hey, Wannabe Dig has said, hey guys, sorry if this has been asked already. It's all right. That's what to dream about. But how do I tell the difference between a corporal and a bombardier?
Well, bombardiers tend to be yelling for no reason all the time. They'll let you know, and normally their rank is a different colour, but they'll be artillery. They'll have an artillery badge. It's one of the biggest badges on earth. Okay, and they'll let you know anyway. Okay, everyone except the bombardier is a corporal. So that's fine. It's just 2 stripes. Okay, Lance Bombardier, 1 stripe. Lance Corporal, okay, 1 stripe. But you will not be encountering Lance Corporals at Kapuka. The minimum rank you'll encounter is Corporal. Okay, then Sergeant, Lieutenant, and that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Jen, after Next Tactics, has said, how is the supervisory part of the Army? In example, leading other troops, writing performance reports, and administering discipline.
Well, that normally happens down at Section Commander level. Okay, and that facilitates the reports that will go through the platoon commander, and you'll have that monthly. The reporting system, I believe, in many ways is broken in the military because now it compares all corps within a battle group or a task force, okay, against each other, regardless of the fact they're not from the same corps, which makes it impossible because there's different medals to what you would call performance. A clerical... Hello, Miss Jane. What have we got there? A clerical commander, or what do we call it? Let's move this up here. A clerical person cannot be compared against someone from infantry. Arms Corps can't be compared with infantry because their job description is completely different. Completely. Who have we got there? Is that Connor Brown, is it?
Yeah.
My eyes are shocking, Brad. Mate, thank you very much. Not too cow. Let's see if this is going to work for you. I've got to turn that. I've got to put this up here for you. I'll give you some Kraken instead because we love that. This one's for you, Connor. I hope you like the calamari.
It's a Kraken! Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari.
There we go. Thank you very much, mate. That's going to fund some half-cooked chicken for my dog.
Yeah. Can I just do a little bit of housekeeping, please?
Of course, do what you need to.
Yep, I understand everyone's really keen with questions, and that's really great. But one, we don't need any cadet experts, okay? If you want to, go make yourself a cadet channel and fill your boots there. I'm sure you've got heaps of viewers. There's heaps of people come in and ask questions. That's fine. Also, I'm not particularly comfortable with cadets giving out their social medias or doxing themselves with their contact details in the chat. As you are a cadet, you are very young, and we don't want that happening on our watch, okay? So please don't be trying to hook up here because we have no idea if the person asking to hook up with you is in fact another kid. We can't guarantee it. It might be a creepy old dude or old lady or something. It might be a serial killer. So I would just suggest if you are young, please do be very, very careful. And in this chat, we will remove things that are people trying to hook up with cadets, especially when they seem to zero in on them.
Absolutely.
That's just a little public service announcement, okay?
Can I just address a quick statement there too? I got a request from Senior Lee, and the request was, could I do a video that was just centered on racism towards Asians within the Australian Army? And I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah, where did that come from? I don't think that...
Right.
I've never seen it. I mean, there is people of Asian origins who are in, look, Aussie Joe and that, you know, who are in the army who, you know, they're just the same as everybody else.
Well, racism is already a crime in the military. So if it gets seen and observed, that person will be handled by the disciplinary system. Not only that, there's do not go into the military so sensitive that you can't tell the difference between banter and, racism. The golden moss. Thank you very much, mate. Would you like a Kraken or would you like a bit of Nutsu cow? I think someone actually appreciated the, if you can let us know there, golden moss. Okay, what you, was it the housekeeping from Lauren then that you appreciated? The what would you call it? The safety of the channel, so to speak. But this one's coming to you, mate. That was well done, Lauren, and I totally agree.
It's a Kraken! Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy.
Okay, Emma.
Welcome, calamari.
That's all right. Go.
Let me, when it's done, I just can't see it. Okay.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, good. Emma C, our lovely Emma C, has a question. In RAMI, is collaboration more so international, like allied militaries like US or UK, other services, or more so your little bubble and project? That's a good question.
Can you please say that one again?
Okay, in RAMI,
Yep.
is collaboration more so international, like with allied militaries like the US or the UK, or is it with other services, or is it more so you just stick to your little bubble and your project and you don't really collaborate with anyone?
No, it tends to be a solo effort. You know, at the end of the day, if you're in RAMI, Royal Australian Electrical and Mechanical Engineers, okay, you are a tradesman. You are basically an electronic mechanic, electrical mechanic, etc. You are working on vehicles. You are working on weapons. They are outside the regimental bubble, so to speak. They will be attached to all units, pretty much. From there, you will work at a rate that you get a lot of leeway in the way you go about things. We don't expect you to be as PT driven. We wouldn't expect you to be as regimental, as aggressive, but at the same time, when your job is over, your job is over, but it's never over. Ramie, I reckon, the hardest working people outside engineers pretty much in the Australian Army. My father was Ramie, for 28 years. Went to Vietnam with him, and the job is never over.
It's humpbacker, isn't it?
Well, they'll also go on every single trip, but never get the glory that comes with it, despite the fact that they're there.
Yep, exactly. Okay, Jacob Robinson has said, "Hey Kaz, going into Melbourne tomorrow morning for my interviews. Just wanted to say your videos have helped a lot. We're really glad to hear that."
Thanks a lot, mate. And whenever we keep saying that, we'll continue to be here for people, because the relevance that we talk about, some may say, but Kaz, you got out in 2015. That's true. But principles don't change. Technology does. And sometimes technology, can be burdensome. Sometimes we don't keep up with the new toys that we have. But what we do have is the wisdom, and the longevity of the senior NCOs that are the glue that hold the organisations together, just like the nurses are in a operating environment, can be helping doctors, can be helping surgeons, etc. So the advice we give here is still golden, will be for a long time, and it's mixed with not only military experience, but also age, wisdom, and having seen people do it absolutely incorrect, mixed with compassion for your life journey.
It's true, and it's not like you don't keep your finger on the pulse on the changes that are going on.
It's true.
It's one of those things I think a lot. I would like to say most veterans I know like to keep their finger on the pulse in what's happening with the Army, Air Force, Navy, whatever they were in.
It's true. We just can't let you know who we speak to get our sources.
Okay, B. Cooper has said, "Remember getting dressed down as a 2RAR transport yard at the 2RAR transport yard by a cadet sergeant for not calling him by rank."
What was a cadet sergeant doing there?
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea, but that would have been bad.
What you're going to be seeing in the background, team, I don't know what the hell has gone wrong, but this is a video, a selection of clips of about 60 pictures that I found online today. And for some reason, it's inverted it, and I don't know how to swap it back over. And it's also really put the colour on it, has brought it right down. But I'll keep it there for the randomness that happens behind us. So enjoy, but take into account that I found out just before I was putting this on, holy shit, that is not the way it's meant to look, Miss Jane. Is that an Asian cow?
It is. It's by Abs, and it's $10, and it says, "Thank you for your videos. They help keep them focused and motivated while I train for my physical."
But did they give you the abs? Thank you, mate. Here, have some cracking for those abs. There we go, mate. Thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated. And yeah, that's so loud.
It's a crackhead!
It's always been loud.
Feeding your mother-in-law.
I didn't
That should
realise.
make you happy. Welcome to worry.
Guys and gals, it's so easy for me to be sitting in the cockpit here with Lauren and speaking to you, but just not realising and remembering the fear and the anxiety of what's coming next for you guys, based on a completely different life experience that you've had. So I do respectfully understand that it sucks that you're in this holding pattern wondering what's next, what are they going to ask you, what surprises, what are the hurdles, will I stay up, will I make it past the test. Make sure you press like if you can, team. If you can't give a donation, you absolutely don't need to, then just throw a like or a comment. And even if you don't like it, throw a negative one.
Yeah, whatever, it's fine. Just don't be rude about it, otherwise you're going to sorry that we're so far behind in chat, but there is a lot of people asking questions, and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. But keep asking, and as I scroll through, I'm bound to see it. If I go past it, just repeat it in the chat, that's fine.
Is that Jay Hayes there?
Jay Hayes.
Is that the moderator from Western Australia?
Yeah, he's been helping me keep it on the straight and narrow.
Point break right there. Carl is here too. We were just speaking about you, mate, about you and Lincoln and Justin with the PB splits and all that sort of stuff. So thank you for that.
Yeah. I've got some more questions if
Go.
you're ready.
Green light. I consent.
Oh, that's okay then. I should go ahead. Zane Robinson. So, g'day, Cass and Lauren. Hello, Zane. Taking your advice from a couple of weeks ago and knuckling down on schoolwork. Look, it's just another step in your goal there, I think.
Yep.
I aim to join the infantry by 19. What should I do to be the best I can for Kapuka and Singleton?
You've already done it, mate. You know, you're showing your family. You're taking schooling seriously, which as long as you don't get a tattoo on your face, get someone pregnant, get married, get a criminal conviction, drink and drive, and then hurt your ankle like Dave D, you should be fine.
Yeah,
You've already done everything. By being here, you've already prepared yourself, mate.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, you want another one?
Absolutely.
Judge Cello
Good
says,
name.
g'day, Kaz and team. Any tips for Kapuka in winter? Or is it make just embrace it and get it done?
Look, let me tell you, mate, it sucks more than family court. It really does. There's nothing you can do about it. Know that it's coming. And all I'd say is never show that it's affecting you, because you're going to see other people where you will revel in their pain. It'll be a dark humour that you're going to really enjoy. You know, and if anything, if there's a chance to get cold at the front of the line, be first. Because one, it shows you're not nervous about it. Okay, and then two, it's over and done with, and then you get to go back and watch everyone else follow in your footsteps. You know, or if it's something like, for example, if there's a line that's jumping into water and you're going to be wet for 40 minutes, you know, sometimes it's not bad to go last either, because at the end of the day, it's only for 40 minutes. And if you're dry for 4 minutes longer than what you need to be, okay, then that's 4 minutes less suffering while the idiot goes first after I just suggested it. Just read the moment, you know.
Yep, okay. H. Holmes said, howdy team, got my PFA on Thursday, should smash it. Time frame I've been given for enlistment is 3 to 6 months for armoured crew, keen as to get wrecked in training. Well, that's good, you're on the way.
You'll get wrecked.
Yep, okay. Monty Wilson says, hello there, what are some good trades in the army?
Some of the fantastic trades, mate, are carpentry. Okay, the other ones is mechanical. The other one is electrical. You know, almost any trade in civilian centres, okay, you can do within the military. Okay, all that happens is you normally will let them know that, and they'll see if you have what it takes to be, which normally means you have to have 4 subjects if you go to trade school, etc. You know, English, maths, I think science, and one other thing that you need to pass in. But that will all come out, and they'll explain that to you in the U session and the assessment session, when they see if you have the aptitude for what you're after. Okay?
Yep, okay. Johnny T, actually this one you've got an answer for, but it's in another video, the video that you and Dicko did. He said, what does the psychology interview look for in candidates? I can't remember the name of that video. Do you remember?
I've got no idea now.
But there was a video, and I'm sure it'll have you and Dicko on the thumbnail, I'm sure of it. And if you go back into the back catalogue, they've actually addressed that really, really well in a video in the old back catalogue.
Yeah. One thing I would explain to you is this is never going to be my role to get you through a psychological screening. The reason why I say that is you may be a psycho and not know it. We need the right people in, and you need the right people around you. So what I would say to let you know is they are looking for something that's going to disqualify you from service. They don't give a shit what's good about you.
Yeah,
They want to disqualify you. So it's not a confession session. This is not the time you go, yep, I did used to smoke pot when I was younger. That ain't going to cut it for you. It's going to go pretty bad.
Exactly. At the same time, don't hide anything, though.
You've got to be careful what you hide too, because it's still a legal document that you're going to sign at the end saying everything that I've said to you was correct. Okay, and I'm going to sign the bottom of that. Something's just come up there. It's
Mullet man.
Moulay man. I am sorry that, you know, Lauren needs some education. We know it's Moulay. Okay.
Lay. Right.
Okay. What I'm going to show you.
Everyone's doing well. We're doing
We are doing well, mate.
Are you doing good, Kev?
I will, and I'm going to give you a heads up in a minute on what's going on as soon as this beautiful lady's out here. And like I said, I don't know what's happened with this video I prepared in the background for you to keep it random for Mr. P, to keep him out of bed, etc. But it's reversed it. I can't find a way to invert it back the other way, and it's darkened it the hell up. But this is for you, Moulay. The seriousness. Moulay, answer this question for me. I keep coming across these dickheads in Penrith that have these haircuts. I think they call them skullets or whatever, where they have like the hair on the back of their head but nothing on the front.
Yeah, exactly.
It is honestly, it's a dickhead alert.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have that, while we're talking about psychological screening,
Yeah.
absolutely never have that hairstyle. You know, a girl, one, you've got no chance. And if she says yes to a guy that has that, there's something wrong with her. You know, and any parent that would let their kid have it, I'd be in there with clippers in the middle of the night giving you a bloody haircut. Don't ever get that haircut. That's disgusting.
Yeah, no, business up top, party down the back. Okay. Noah Newman has asked, no, I've seen him in chat quite a few times now. May seem like a stupid question, but during basic training, do you have to crawl through a lot of small tunnels? As I'm quite a big guy, and that's a slight concern.
What a stupid question. I'm joking. And look what comes up in the background.
Yeah, just...
What are the chances in the background comes up a claustrophobia bloody picture?
There you go.
That's bizarre. Look, mate, confined spaces is something they used to do in infantry a lot, you know, and I went through the bullshit and the fear of that and MRIs and all that sort of crap. I absolutely hear. I start to feel sick even thinking about it now because of some of the experiences I've been through. But no, it's not something you'd be likely to do at Kapuka. In saying that, heights suck, you know, real bad. And there is a high wire confidence course that you must do, okay, while you're at Kapuka. And fitting enough, it just came up on the screen. Those guys are not scared of heights.
Okay, I've accidentally just skipped down to the end, so sorry if I've missed your question, just repeat it. Jake Baker has asked, how do I apply for a VC if I think I earn one? That's got to be a joke, right? That's got to be a joke.
That's the best question of the night. No, you can't apply for it. And the thing that sucks is, yeah, that has to be pushed forward normally by an officer that's there, and they're normally further behind you. For them to see you get a VC, there's something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Question of the night. I love it.
Yeah, okay, that was from Jake Baker. Okay, Dylan Casey has said, hey Kaz, do you know where you can rent a helicopter? Because I want to do something special for my last day of year 12.
Well, I don't know, mate, but I identify as a helicopter.
You do?
So, look, mate, I'm not sure what state you're in. I'm not sure where you are, but helicopters, absolutely, you can book them, but not for events. They're not going to tailor it for an activity like that. Everything has a price, but there's also flight patterns, tour patterns, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Normally, it costs about $400 for 15 minutes. You know, and no girl's going to say, I want to go and have sex with the helicopter guy that came in a tour but didn't fly it.
Yeah, you might actually, I find most things like that, you know, just get the T-Pass limo, you know, it'll be all right, you know, because 10 years from now, you probably won't care, you know.
You won't.
Ephelon Quantax has said, hey, in the trenches with Kaz, he's off to Kapuka next week. Are you in the book?
Let's have a look.
What dates, Ephelon?
We've got the book here.
Yeah?
We've got the book here.
Let us know what date. Oh, the amount of times I've taken.
Maybe it's not a date. Maybe it's a prune.
I don't like either of
No, neither do I. They keep me regular, but and you know what?
That's true.
That they're great to have bets about and make your mates eat them before you go outfield. Thank you very much, Anthony Hunter, who had to eat the whole bag before he went to high range. And that guy was letting out some blood strips, not black strips, everywhere we went. We've got the book here, March.
Excellent. Let us know what date.
Well, we've got the, this is the crowd that's going at the moment on the 8th.
Yep.
Okay, we've got Jetty Boy. We've got Tyson. We've got BB Ace. We've got Kyle Budd. We've got Nicholas. Jesus. Mr. Magoo, you've done it again. Let's go to the glass. Whoops. Fuck you. That wasn't me. That wasn't me that swore then.
It wasn't me.
Could have been Lauren. Okay, we've got Nicholas 1, 2, 3, 4 as well.
Wow.
Tyson's going to transport.
What a fate.
There you go. Yep. And we've got a whole bunch of names over there. I'm not sure where these ones are going. Is that Robbie Townsend, Brad POV, Emma Riley, Good O'Camo and Nathan Ireland? Is that...
Emma Riley's off.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone's getting what they want.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. They've all worked hard. They've all been here taking in your advice, asking questions.
Yeah.
He wanted to know, are there any items to bring that aren't on the, I presume he means the list. We get asked that a lot. There's possibly some folk if Dave was here, he could fill you in on what to take. But I think just what's on the list is usually quite sufficient, isn't it?
If you're not going to see anything that's not on the list, okay? The list, the reason why it's there, everything else will go in an echelon bag, administration bag, that will be taken out of your grasp almost straight away, and it will get put away, and you will see it one day when you're told you can go into those bags. So the best things to have is some tracksuit pants, okay, and a nice jumper. Also some Chico babies, some lollies, maybe a salami stick or something like that. You know, maybe a letter to yourself, maybe some baby wipes. You know, baby wipes are a fantastic thing when you get to the field phase. Remember, for red tabs and blue tabs, which don't have a field component, that what's going to happen during that is that you always have to have your locker in inspection order, which means every single person has to have exactly the same items. But the one thing you're going to have extra is photos of your missus or someone else's missus if you don't have one, a dog, car, bike, family, proud grandparents, so that goes on the wall and it allows people to come into the room, see your backboard, your billboard, so to speak, when you're not there, to see when your room is secure or insecure, which it better not be. And from there, they're going to look at those photos to see if you've got a good-looking sister, good-looking mum, etc. And then from there, that's going to make you more of a person. It's going to give a human element to you rather than, hey, Private Reed 2308839 or PM Keys 8254344. All of a sudden, it gives you something in common with an instructor. Is that your sister or your missus, mate? Which one do you want it to be, Corby? I remember when I was a platoon sergeant at the School of Infantry, I used to say to guys, who here has got an unmarried mother? And if they went, Sarge, you'd go, right. So there is a chance at the March Out Parade that we hit it off and you end up calling me Sergeant and Dad.
Oh, no.
And what was funny is because we'd have that banter the whole way through the course, they realised by the end of it, you don't have a problem with them.
Exactly.
And then the single mums would turn up and be like, who's that Caswell guy? And that's him. And a couple of the guys' mums, I remember this guy called Hayworth, lovely guy. And his mum came over and gave me a hug because I'd been looking after her son and giving him some good advice. And he's looked over from a weapon stand and seen me just hugging his mum like, it's happening, it's happening.
Oh, no. Evelyn is off on the 9th of March.
Okay, so that means that you are part of 8 Platoon. So you'll be with the guys from the 8th and the 9th of March. You'll be in the same platoon as each other, but you've come from different areas in Australia, and that's why, okay?
Yep. And I've
So-
got some more while you've got the book.
Yep. How do you spell his name?
Okay. E-P-H.
Yep.
I.
Yep.
L.
Yes.
I-O-N.
I-O-N. Ephileon. I like the fact that Lion is the last name, just as it says Lion on the screen here.
Ephileon. There is another word behind it, but we'll just call him Ephileon.
Okay.
Leon. Ephileon. Ephileon.
Leon.
Leon. Okay, Mitch Carney, who is a member,
Yes.
said, hey guys, enlistment day set for the 5th of May after 2 years of dealing with DFR medical. Well done.
5th of May.
5th of May. That's Mitch Carney. That's good news.
If I was from New Zealand, can I call you much? And carne is the Spanish word for meat.
Do you have small hands? Do you smell like cabbage?
Much meat. Can I have a much steak?
Yeah. Okay, Anthony. Have you got Anthony in the book? He's going on the 8th of this month.
8th of this month, which is March, which is in the same one. Yep. So that means he's going with Ephileon.
Yep, exactly.
So Mitch.
Okay, right, now I can get back to...
I'll just quickly read those names out for the guys going on the 8th again. So we've got much, not much Carney. We've got Ephileon, Lion. We've got Jetty Boy. We've got Tyson. We've got BB Ace. We've got Kyle Budd, and I believe we've over here on the 2nd, we've got Rob Townsend. We've got Brad POV. We've got Emma. We've got Good Camo. We've got Nathan Ireland, and I believe that's also AM. Aaron.
Yeah, awesome.
Who's been waiting 4 years to get in, and they'd said don't reapply. Basically, then all of a sudden, Esme Watson rings him up and says, "Okay, you're in." Crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, you finished?
I was just going to say, hit that like button if you can, team, just to get it off. 2/3 of the devil, 66.
Please do. Okay, Big Fella has said, hey Kaz and Lauren, I'm joining in Armoured Crew.
Awesome, big fella.
Would get my enlistment in the next 3 to 6 months. Is there a program to request for my partner to be placed in a similar area for when she joins the RAF?
No, is the simple question. What will happen is they won't go off your recommendation, they'll go off hers. Because when you get in, if she's not a military member, they don't even know if she's going to get in successfully. But once she gets in, then they'll say, aren't you married or going out with big fella? Okay, where is he posted? Okay, let's see what we can do about getting you there. But understand there's not always a RAF base where there's an army base. But there is most of the time. So you guys need to have a really big discussion. So that's all sorted out and good to go. And I wish you the best. Treyo.
Yeah, indeed. Let us know how you go. We'd be interested in being updated on that too, and what the how it all works out for you.
What's Treyo asking? I can't see the writing.
Yeah, that's a seasick cow. Hey, Kaz, still waiting for a transfer into WDs. Good news, nothing wrong with me, but they said I can come back in 12 months.
It's Weary Dunlops.
Oh, there you go. Right.
Yep, that's Trey.
Yeah.
Okay, mate, you need to, you also need to go and see someone and sort out what that problem was, mate. Because it's not going to go away by itself.
Feed him a mother-in-law.
What's your
That
cow?
should make him happy.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Exactly. Okay.
So basically, Trey went in there unprepared psychologically. Okay, and I'm not going to embarrass you here, Trey, but it's not your full name, so we can be candid here. Trey went in there, hit the wall, basically day one, and realised mentally he wasn't prepared for it. Okay, and then from there they showed him the door.
Yeah.
Right.
We're amongst friends here. We're here for the ups and the downs.
And Lauren, if you don't mind me asking, that is the advantage here as well, by you not having your real name.
Yes, exactly.
So that I can be brutally honest, and you can say he's not saying that to Darren Smith. He's saying that to starched white cornhole.
Exactly, and that's it's so you can be brutally honest too, and ask the actual questions that you're too embarrassed to ask anyone else.
Yep. And we don't want to attack someone and make them feel any less.
No, I don't think we you and I aren't really in the habit of attacking people, but we don't want anyone to feel attacked either.
No.
And if you ask us a question, we give you an answer that you don't like, it's not because we're just being arse-hats, it's actually because that is our genuine opinion, and you may take it or leave it. It's up to you, but we promise we wouldn't be giving it just for being nasty at all.
And we may be the only honest person in your circle too.
Yeah, exactly. We will certainly
Delegate. He's always here.
Yeah, he's great.
So I'm just wondering, how do you range and field exercises or go out bush? Everyone has a different...
How often? Yeah.
Oh, how often is it?
Yes, that's what it used to be class.
Okay, it depends on the time of the year. Remember, there's a training continuum that occurs where it'll go from individual training to group training, section, etc., then to platoon, troop, squadron, all that sort of stuff. Then it'll be unit levels, then brigade levels. So depending on what's happening, there'll be two timetables. There'll be the priority timetable, which is the brigade's requirements. Then there's the battalion, squadron, etc. And that will superimpose over the top. That will then generate a training program. But you will normally know from the start of the year, you'll be able to plan out and go, that's my holiday period. That is the major exercise period. That is the live fire period. Okay, that is Tully. And then you've just got to wait out, because there's also always a secret ingredient where you'll get some, what would you call it, some prizes sprung onto you. Yep.
Okay. Are you ready to continue with the question?
After I send this to delegate.
Not so cow. Not so cow.
Not so cow. My hand is getting sore. It's like I'm digging in.
I accept.
2 cows.
And by the way, just to let you know, Felix the cat, El Gato, as they would say in Spanish, has just finished his School of Infantry defensive activity, which he'd been back squatted on the eve of last year after realising the night before that he had pneumonia. So he just finished it, and one of the very first things he did before diddy marrying from the village, wiping the cam cream off, to get in a car to go to Sydney, the land of chaos, okay, to go and see lovely Vicky, and I'm not talking about the Archie comics. He let Kaz know that it was so much harder than he ever expected, that he felt like his hands were falling off. The fatigue he passed.
Yeah, good.
So now he's about to do hardcore. I think he's doing that tomorrow. And that is where you actually get your Skippy badge on completing that, or don't get your Skippy badge if you don't. You have to be still standing at the end. You have to finish everything. So he's about to get his Skippy badge, and that is resilience from Felix the cat, who got
excellent.
the Cameron Baird Award in Kapuka.
Yeah, we love Felix and Vicky.
Yep.
Okay, Fellow has said, hey Kaz, thanks for your videos. I'm hoping to apply soon, but am I likely to be disqualified if I have ADHD?
Coming from someone who I believe has ADHD, they're going to see you as a case by case. Okay. Again, if you have a pass in English and maths in year 10 and you pass in the aptitude test, okay, and then you communicate well, and they ask you how well you know yourself and blah, 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 they will treat you like a case by case. So don't think that you have no chance, but take into account it is important. It is serious, because it can prevent you from learning technical things, that can make you dangerous to others, in the pointy end of training, etc. So they are in everyone's best efforts to make sure the right people get in.
It's also so you don't do yourself a mischief too.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's not just for them, it's also for you. Okay, Thomaso has said, G'day Kaz, can I ask what's your opinion is on the reserve infantry?
It's like the B team in anything. I understand when people go for the Army Reserve, that's normally because they have a responsibility to either family, business, academia, okay, study, or something else, which is the reason why they couldn't commit to regular anything. Okay, it's the B side. They don't have the responsibilities that infantry have. They don't have the standard required, a job standard. There's a lot more leniency on Army Reserve infantry. Okay, but I don't necessarily have an opinion either way. You know, I treat every person, okay, from Army Reserve or infantry or regular infantry as I see them. And I think that I'm starting to really come into national service. The thought of national service, I think, is a good thing. And I think that when someone has any sort of role in civilian agency, and then they do Army Reserve on top of that, not only the tax-free dollars, but I think it is so different to anything within the civilian sector that it really rounds you off as a human being. It gives you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I'd recommend it to anyone, you know. Don't do a civilian job and do something that's the same as a civilian job in Army Reserve. You do something like Armoured Corps or Infantry. Yep.
Yep. Okay, that's pretty good. Mr. P's out of here. He's going to go watch some telly with his queen.
He watches Vera or something like that. I've never heard of it. I don't know what it is.
He's an old lady detective. It's quite good. Quite, you know, but then again, I watch Midsummer Murders, so you know.
Hey,
Okay.
we just got a member, Wizzy. Is it Wizzy Wombat?
Wizzy Wombat. Actually, there was a question from Wizzy Wombat that I'm getting to. I am getting to the questions, folks.
Let's quickly give this tribute to Wizzy Wombat. That looks like Lauren coming down now the screen now to answer that question. I'm going to give you a bit of both there. Mate, great to have you on board. Let's get some thumbs up. Let's keep it away from threes. No, it's too late. Robbie Kent, the keeper of hounds. Okay, and then straight underneath, he who dwells on rooftops, Carl. You know, throwing 3 Krakens out there. Put him in the pan, I say. Great to have you on board there, Wizzy. And what was Wizzy's question?
He didn't. He's a member. He just became a member.
Okay, but I thought you said you had a question as well.
In the chat, I'll have to find it. Now there's a seasick cow from Corey Jones, who has asked a question. Said, "Hey Kaz, have you had experience working with forward observers? What are your thoughts on the role? I'm heading to Kapuka March the 15th."
Okay, March the 15th. Let's put you in the book first. Thank you, mate.
And I'll find Wizzy's question while you do that.
March the 15th. Okay, you're also going with Skinner, mate, with Jacob and Peter Mayfield. Corey Jones. Mate,
Corey Jones. Yep.
thank you very much, and I'll answer that question with ease. Yes, I have worked with forward observers. This is the crack, and this is all for you, Corey. And there's some calamari in the background. Well, the timing of this has been impeccable. You guys are on point.
You were meant to do it like this.
And those calamari rings, that's about as long as my marriages have lasted too. Corey, forward observers, yep, worked with them before. I had a bit of troubles actually in Timor with some forward observers, because when they come in, normally what happens is there's a digger, okay, who's carrying the radio. He's, for all intents and purposes, he's a signalman. And then there's normally a corporal that's with him, righto, which is a bombardier. But there's also an officer. So you've got a hell of a lot of top cover there, okay, for a very junior soldier, where if any one of those is a fuckwit, you can't deal with them just soldier on soldier, because it's like they've got their mother with them making sure they don't get picked on. But having said that, forward observer is an amazing role, especially if they get used properly and they're allowed to go and organically live, train, work, do courses with those they're going to be working with, i.e. infantry, cavalry, etc. Those are going to be close to said fight. I reckon it's an amazing role. It's an evolved role. There's a hell of a lot of responsibility in it. Okay, just because you're carrying the radio, the mobile phone, so to speak, for the commissioned officer, okay, or the section commander will be actually calling in the fire mission, okay, doesn't mean that you don't have to be able to do everything that's involved in that. It's a technical role. It's an intelligent role. It's a responsible role. And what can happen is, once that call sign goes static, most of your friends are probably going to be from cavalry or from infantry. So it's a bonus for you. It's absolutely stellar. Yep, great role. And we need you on that wall.
Yep, I found... Oh...
Your thrill on Blueberry Hill.
I did. And I also found Wizzy Wombat's question. Can I join even though I've been diagnosed with ADHD, which is a little bit like what we were just talking about before? When I was younger, but I haven't been needing to take anything for it for over 2 years.
Well, that's a great answer, because the medication is the one that will definitely doom people, because you can't go into the military with a requirement to take medication for things already. That is a real, red flag, so to speak. So that's important that you let them know. And you may even have to, if they ask, be prepared to go to a specialist and let them write a report on you. The thing is with ADHD, all that sort of stuff, once it's diagnosed, you can never get rid of it. It's just who you are. And there's benefits to it. There's definitely benefits to it. But what it often means is that you won't do technically as well in the paperwork side of things in military. That's what I found. If you use me for what I'm good at, you'll want me on your team every time. Finish everything, always there early, sprinting around doing push-ups when in doubt. But you sit me behind a computer and say, learn how to do a spreadsheet. I'm going, that's not what I joined the army for. I stayed within my lane, and now you're trying to make me a technical dickhead. Go and get someone who doesn't like field or fighting, and give them a pen or a typewriter, because that's not my role, and I'll stick by that. And I believe that you are being misrepresented when they try to take you down the academic path of clerical duties, when really what should be happening is you are allowed to drink, get fit, chase the ladies like you belong in Port Royal, which is now called Jamaica.
Yep, exactly. Che is enlisting as an electrical technician on the 10th of May. Does the book go that far forward?
10th of May. We've put a few May guys in.
Yep.
May I check the book?
Yes, you may.
It said anyone that's coming in the 10th of May, go to hell.
What?
No, it didn't say that. Okay, 10th of May, you're going to be the first one in the book for that. Can we please get the name? What name was that?
Sorry, it's Che. C-H-E with an accent.
Shay. That sounds Irish, almost Gaelic.
I thought it sounded more like Che
Oh,
Guevara.
shit, now I need some Gaelic bread. Did you get that? Garlic bread?
I
Shay,
get it.
you're in the book, mate. You're in the book. The green book, so to speak. Look at how it goes crazy with the green screens behind me.
Yeah.
Gaelic bread, I'm a dickhead.
Yeah, it was...
Hey, for 2 seconds.
Yep.
Melissa Cassick.
Yeah, Caddick.
Caddick.
Yep.
I don't believe she was knocked off. I think she actually did run out of the house to go and get herself knocked off.
What?
I thought she got taken out, but I didn't realise it was within only a few hours after the police had came in and said to her, basically, we're taking this, that she went, okay, the next morning, out of the village, gone.
You must have learned something that really made you do a flip-flop on that one, because we were talking about it just recently.
Well, the shark doesn't bite you into pieces. What happens is a body turns up mangled. It's like when people try to get rid of a body by throwing it where crocodiles are. They don't eat a whole human. A lot of people don't realise crocodiles ain't got a tummy about as big as a volleyball. It can't hold more than that.
Yeah.
They're like the kid that always goes and buys the whole bucket of KFC, but can only ever do 2 pieces, and then everyone else becomes a recipient. Dylan Kidman's here.
Yes, and he's also got... Dylan Kidman is here from the Netherlands. Hello, it's good morning over there. Hello, hope everything's lekker.
Just by being in Netherlands, is that, how dare you, racist?
Yeah, he'll know what that means. Okay,
Lovely guy.
Speaking of Dylans, there is a Dylan Casey here who it is an I will answer any questions stream, so here you go.
Do it.
Also, do you have any advice on how to get a girlfriend?
Yep.
I want to make a move, but I'm not sure how to do it or if I have the balls to do it.
Well, let me tell you something. There's one thing that universally any girl doesn't. No girl likes a guy who's not confident. Okay, so you need to understand. In the military, one of the things we do, a tool that helps us out, is we draw a line on the ground, an imaginary line, and that's called a line of departure. So you need to have not necessarily a script, but something to offer her. And I'll explain this to you quite quickly and easily. But when you go to actually ask her, don't make it threatening, don't make it weird. So the best thing you could possibly say to her, can we know what her name is, please, mate? That'll make it easy too.
Maybe not. Make up a pseudonym.
Yeah,
for
pseudonym.
her. Yeah.
Lucy. We'll say her name is Lucy.
Yeah.
All I'd simply do is go over, keep it quite simple and unconfronting by saying to her, Lucy, what are the chances you and I, when we get an opportunity, go out for a daytime coffee, okay, or a bit of people watching, and go and chill out for a while. Just take it easy. Have some conversation outside our workplace, school, whatever it is. You know, do you want to come and chill out with me sometime? Because then it's not meet me at night time. Let's go to a restaurant. Oh no, is he going to try and take me home?
Exactly, because you don't want her to feel obliged, because that won't work. You know, that's right. Get to know each other better as friends. And also, if she makes it clear that she's not interested, just accept it, be proud of yourself for giving it a go and move along. Don't be bitter, just move along. Maybe you've made a really great friend.
Or make a joke out of it and then say to her, so, strictly friends, eh? Just friends? Okay, no worries. And then while you're right beside her, don't even take another step and go, Rhonda, how about we go out sometime and go and have and say exactly the same thing to her and go, just joking, you know.
It's not going to worry her though.
Just have some fun with it, mate. Just have some fun. Don't ever ask to go to dinner.
Yeah, no, don't put that much pressure.
And don't go anything at night time.
Because there's actually nothing more awkward than when you go for a date with someone, a first date with someone, and you didn't know that they liked you, but all of a sudden you're in this supposedly forced romantic setting. No, just be much more chill about it. I think that's a really good idea.
Or you could say to her in a really awkward voice, with your mouth open, go, Lucy, do you want to come over to my place and watch the US elections reruns this weekend?
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna watch the 100 hours of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And if she says no, I'll come and watch it with you.
Okay, are you ready to move along?
Let's go.
Okay, Reese Orgo has said he's going on March the 15th.
March the 15th. That's not too far away at all.
Oh, that's creeping up very closely. It's like a fortnight away.
So that's Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Is in like the chocolate bar? R-E-E.
No, it's RHYS.
RHYS. Okay, that's in the 15th, which means that he's going to be part of the 16 platoon crew, which means you're going with Skinner, Jacob, Peter, Corey, and at the same time is Lucas Ship, the irony, he's going to Navy, named Ship, and JJ, who's going to be a submariner, where his family can't hear him scream, okay, if he gets swiped right.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. We're proud of them all.
The team seems to be enjoying this tonight, just asking anything.
Indeed, it's nice. Brent Mayall says, hey, Kaz and team, I'm off to Kapuka on the 5th of March. That's really soon, Brent.
Yeah, you're talking like your 4 last dinners.
Yeah, he's saying, do you know what platoon I would be in?
Well, I do, but when I'll explain something to you in a second, team. 5th of March, I don't understand that, because no one's going. There isn't a platoon on the 5th of March.
That's what he said.
There's the 2nd, which would be the 2nd and the 3rd, or wait a sec.
You better check your dates, Brent. You don't want to rock up on the wrong day.
Because they always go in on the Monday and Tuesday. So that means the 1st and the 2nd. So the guys 2nd, we're going to have, I believe it's Aaron, Rod, Brad, Emma, Good Camo, Nathan, are going on the 2nd. They'll be part of 2 platoon and 1 platoon. There's the 8th, which is Jetty Boy, Tyson, BB, Kyle, okay, Mitch, Ephelon, and my eyes aren't seeing this one. Is it Army Reserve you're going for? That might make sense.
Yeah, maybe.
What's this gentleman's name again?
That was for the 5th, Brent Mayall.
Okay.
Mayall.
Okay.
I'm sorry for the names.
Because all platoons start on the 1st and the 2nd. That's to get them there, and before they get to Kapuka. And then they muster up and join each other.
Yeah, it might be. Here's another one for you. Ricky Hirani has said, "Hey Kaz,
Hey Ricky.
I'm heading to Kapuka on the 12th of April.
Okay.
Then to infantry school. Just had a question on what to expect after, I suppose it's the initial training at School of Infantry."
Okay, Rick, that's a great question, and let me tell you. Basically, what will happen is you'll do your march out on the Friday. You'll either have people that are allowed to come and see you, or they won't be allowed to come and see you because of the I was only 19. And anyway, with that, basically what will occur is that happens on Friday. Then you have Saturday, Sunday to pack up all your shit. Okay, so it's going to go from there to your IET school. You're going to start to hang out with people in your tribe at this stage. If you're infantry, people are going to start to hang out with other infantry. Okay, it's going on the 17th of July. We'll put you in the diesel duck. We'll put you in the book in 2 seconds. Wait with me.
Yep.
So when you go, the weekend will be over. On Monday, first thing, you'll have breakfast. You'll then head off to the School of Infantry. You'll get to the School of Infantry as it's dark. When you turn up there, you'll go to the holding platoon lines. You'll go in there and be given an initial brief. From there, you'll be told to go to bed amongst the general population, people that are also going to be training and doing the fitness test with you the next day. Okay, so you will go for a BFA on the first day that you're at the School of Infantry. And then from there, they'll see whether you are physically up to even starting a session. If not, you can be held indefinitely until you are fit enough to go into a session. If you do not pass that BFA, what will occur is you will go to the RAP, the Regimental Aid Post, and you will be given a conversation and a check over to see if there's any psychological, medical reason why you couldn't have passed the basic fitness assessment. Okay, and then from there they'll come down the chain and follow the protocols from there. So that's what occurs.
Okay, there's some cows down.
We've got it everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's, everyone's going first. So you did Diesel Duck. Then we got Mitch Carney.
What was Diesel saying, bud?
Diesel said, "Hello, Kaz. Anyone going on the 17th of July? He's going on the 17th of July. Anyone else yet?"
Okay. 17th.
Go that far forward.
We don't normally go that far forward, but
Yeah.
Duck, okay, we've put you in there.
Yeah.
Even though you had no echo. Do you know that? You get it? Ducks don't have echo.
Yeah.
We're
I
going
did already.
to do a communal Nutsu cow for you in a minute because we've got multiple people coming up here.
Exactly. Okay. Mitch Carney. That's
Okay.
€5.
Hey,
Any experience with electronic warfare?
Kabbalah.
Queensland doesn't look like a place I would take my missus.
The answer is yes, and I'm going to get to your question. And we've also going 17th Reserve Infantry at Erina.
Yeah.
17th of what month, mate?
Yeah, the 17th. Is that this month filming cards?
And this one,
No.
this one's for our Euros and for our donations here, which is the Kraken. Better make us some new thank yous.
Feed him a mother-in-law.
Yeah,
That
that's
should
right
make him happy.
time.
Probably is.
Welcome, calamari.
Mate, whereabouts in Europe are you from, Matt? Let us know. And I'm going to quickly answer that question. Okay, basically, Kabbalah is where you go for electronic warfare. Now, that was what I was initially core enlisted to do when I joined the military. That's what I was meant to be going. It was a 40-week course, which had a very hard Morse code requirement, which they got rid of and replaced that with learning another language, etc. I don't know what dialect they'd make you learn for this one. Kabbalah, I believe it sucks, just like you said. It's a very intense course. Really think seriously if that's what you want to do. I don't think they see the sun very often. I think it's very technical, and I think it's for people with that niche ability to concentrate for prolonged periods of time in cooped up areas with a very high secrecy level, top secret, and then go home, don't tell anyone what you do, come back to work. I think it's as high as it gets when it comes to clearances, etc.
Filming carts going reserve infantry on the 17th of July.
17th of July.
Yeah, that's July. That's quite far ahead with like the same as diesel duck, I think, or
Yep.
up towards there.
So, 17th of July, and that was for...
That's for filming carts.
I like that name.
Yeah, great name.
Excellent. Guys and girls, I'm really enjoying this. Is there any questions anyone has for Lauren?
Oh, yeah. All right. If I don't know, I'll pass them off to Kaz. Okay, I'm just going to skip ahead. If I miss your question, please just repeat it. We know it's not spam, okay? Luke Craig, who's a member, has said, hey Kaz, could you talk a little bit about the way tank soldiers or troopers operate?
Okay, tanks, when you actually go to the School of Armour, that's when you're going to find out, because we've got Mr. Healy, the Turret Waswa, who is another YouTube channel. He was my nemesis for a long time. We're good friends. And basically what happens is you'll go down, you'll be, either you choose, or they'll decide whether you're going to tanks, whether you're going to armoured crew, etc., and it'll go from there. If you go to tanks, be aware that the rest of the world is almost taking a step back from tanks because of their inability to survive on the battlefield now, because of precision weapon systems that can destroy them without them even realising they're being targeted. Having said that, they will normally operate in combinations of other armoured vehicles as combat teams, and from there they'll work in conjunction. What would you call it?
I don't know.
Well, the answer is really no. It's not really my subject matter expertise. I haven't worked with them very often because Australia doesn't like to really get them going too much. They all also work mostly out of Darwin. Okay, and the reason why we don't see them very often is, one, them moving around puts unnecessary kilometres, resources it uses, and it's financially extremely expensive. Okay. I don't recommend going to tanks at all.
Okay.
Go to Armoured Corps, but not tanks.
Okay, Jones Naylor has asked, hey Kaz, can you join the army if you're allergic to polyester?
No.
Or is it, yeah, probably not with the polys, yeah. Or is it a question for DFR? Cheers.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine so, mate. If you're allergic to cloth, and different parts of our compulsory worn uniforms, I wouldn't imagine it'd go well, because it'd probably be what else you're allergic to. I don't know. It'd definitely make some eyebrows come up, and they'd be wondering if you're bullshitting them or having some fun with them. I don't know. Let us know how it goes. You'll know about that in the assessment session.
Yep, exactly. And please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to click the bell for notifications, because you're going to need them on, because sometimes we just pop up and surprise you all.
If you do put a thumbs up, mate, do watch out that none of the mallets are outside your house.
And not that kind of thumbs up. Okay, Private Frost is here, and he's asked, hey Kaz, how does the jungle and mountain warfare schools work, and how do you apply for them?
You don't. Okay, basically what there is there's adventure training troops and stuff like that in Australia. Once you've been in the army for a while, you can actually say, hey, look, if I get an opportunity to go to the adventure training school, you can go there and become an instructor there. Other than that, going to Tully, etc., is normally a position you go to as rank. You'd go there as Carter staff, where you'd be the cadre there is basically the patrons of the jungle of Tully, so to speak, that will do a multi-year posting there. So if you tell people you want to go to Tully, and you won't probably want to do it after you actually get in the military, just tell your platoon staff. They'll probably go, mate, if position comes up, you can do it. There used to be a thing called 10 IRC, the 10th Independent Rifle Company. I was at it for a while. And what that was, usually for compassionate reasons or for location specifications, you could get sent there, and all their job was to do was assist with courses as role players in enemy. Stoddy's here.
Yeah, Stoddy's been here for a while now. Someone asked...
Hey, Corbin, how you going, mate? That's a good name.
Yep,
Jeremy
Guardians,
Corbin.
What's the strangest tattoo I've ever done?
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know. Probably some of the genital ones are a little bit strange because people get pretty creative downstairs.
Yeah.
You know, I've done traditional cowgirls with lassos or, you know, dragons and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. Strange. It's what's strange to me might not be strange to you. I had a dude. We used to get some freaks though. I had a guy come in once and ask what it would cost to get a full tan.
What?
Yeah, I know. And everyone said I should have just taken the money, but I couldn't in good conscience.
You should have said, lay out the back there for a little while, and I'll think about it.
Yeah, it would have cost tens of thousands of dollars, you know. But no, that can't happen.
If I was going to get a tattoo on my genitals, I'd just get a fake ruler, one that, you know, lies about its length.
You know how many people want like Snickers or Mars bars down there? It's quite popular. I don't know why. I must be missing something. Maybe it's a joke, like you say, do you want a Snickers or something? I don't know. Maybe you're hangry.
It sounds like someone's been in the mines too long.
Yeah. Filming car asked, Lauren, were you ever in the ADF? No, I wasn't, but since I was a teenager, I have been a soldier's spouse or a veteran's spouse, and I'm now a nana. So I've been on the other side of it, keeping the home fires burning.
And also let him know that you actually also have a sniper in residence there now.
I do. My children's daddy is a sniper, and he lives in sort of downstairs from me in an apartment. So.
And what battalion's he from?
2RAR.
Which would be the 2nd Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment, which is second to none. And if I believe that we are from the best small army in the world, and that 2RAR is the best battalion in Australia, he is literally from the best sniper cell in the world.
Yep.
That's what I tell myself.
Yep, those men in black, they're pretty good.
Yep.
JP actually is here. That's JP in the chat there. That's the sniper that lives downstairs from me.
Where is he?
And
Where is he?
he's just at the very bottom of the chat. And he
6'3" Yankee.
enlightened me about the Snickers tattoo. He said, Snickers, it really satisfies. Right, that makes sense now. All these years and I didn't have a clue. Okay, there was a question from Lonely Soldier. Let me just find it because he's been really, really patient. Lonely Soldier said, hey Kaz, I'm 24 and I've been trying to look for a purpose in life. At least you're looking. You know, you've really got to be proactive in your life. I've been trying to get an apprenticeship in, and there seems to be a word missing, but have been struggling to get work. What do you think of trades in the ADF?
Trades in the ADF are excellent, mate, because they're all adult learning. They also, there is no training pay, so to speak. So you're getting paid as a soldier, as an Australian soldier. You'll be an Australian all-corps soldier before you actually go to said training school. And I think it's some of the best training you can possibly get because it's at work standard, you know, in an adult learning environment where you'll have all your equipment given to you, you don't have to buy, where you won't be spoken to the way sometimes a tradesman speaks to an apprentice and then wonders why he doesn't want to be there. I think it's a win-win. If you can do it, man, do it. And you know what? Another door may open for you that may lead you to somewhere else, and maybe Lonely Soldier will be Stoked Soldier as your new name. I've got a little call from someone.
Yeah, we were just about to say, do you need to call?
Hello?
Hi.
You're speaking so loudly. How you doing, darling?
Good.
You sound tired.
I'm not.
Okay. Are you missing Dad? You don't have to lie. Guess who's on the phone? Guess.
Did she get the box?
Have we only sent it this morning, darling?
Not yet. I'm so excited.
Lauren's on the phone there now, and she knows, and she saw the photo of you drawing on the box.
Yes.
For those that don't know, Patreon has sent a gift to the family of Lauren is Shining. My little girl helped me with all of it. You know, we've got
I draw the pictures.
Oh, I'm going to draw you a picture back. Do you like mermaids?
Pardon?
Do you like mermaids?
Yeah.
I'm going to draw you a mermaid and put it and send it back to you.
No.
We'll swap pictures.
How's that sound?
Okay.
Can we get it in a cast net or in a great white's mouth?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No, I will shove the great white mouse into you.
Don't say that. I've got my dive gear getting ready to make some videos for the channel. And the last thing I want is you putting a hex or a mocker on me.
You leave the mermaids alone then.
I can't wait to get some presents for the guys in the chat. You know, from when I go for a dive and pick that up and put it on the slate, who's it for? And then something that hasn't been outside the water for 1 billion years.
Yeah.
You don't sound like a believer. Aaliyah, if you could ask me any question, what would it be? Any question. I'll answer them all.
Can I ask Lauren something?
Sure.
Go.
I want to see you one day.
Yeah. Me too. That'd be great.
That's a statement.
Yeah, for sure. No, what was she saying? Can we see each other one day? Sure we can. You better not be online.
It's fine.
Okay, well, I need to go.
Okay. I love you, darling. I'll see you in the
Love
morning.
you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. She's a trickster.
She's so great.
Yeah, she is.
You just leave those mermaids alone, all right?
That's right. Yeah, so those that are part of Patreon, basically what occurred was, and I don't want to embarrass Lauren here, but Lauren's here every single stream. She answers the questions. She has all of the patience in the world. You know, she has communications with me about your questions before and after streams, you know, to sometimes unpack those. So we've created a gift that's going to cause all sorts of anxiety and fun for her family. And we'll let you know how it goes. Or Lauren will. What's Rob got here?
Great. It's going to be ace. I'm really excited about it.
The Keeper of Hounds reckons it's not a complete stream until Kaz's Angel's been on the phone. It sounded like she was getting in trouble off her mum in the background for talking online. She's not allowed to be her face on the channel, so to speak. And that's fair enough. If I wasn't talking about military, then yeah, she'd be on here. And it's a shame because I don't think there's anything wrong with your kid being part of your channel so that one day they can look back and go, okay, that's the way I communicated. That's what I look like. You know, it's I think we can also be a little bit too nervous. You know, it's not like my daughter ever goes anywhere without a father watching like a hawk. You know, I spend more time with my little girl than almost any father gets to spend with their kid. I'm truly lucky.
Yeah, exactly. You do a good job, but it is, I do understand it, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready to jump back in?
Let's do it.
Okay, Kent Thorne has said, "G'day Kaz, I'm 19 and unfit. Recently I learned there's an Aboriginal pre-recruitment course, few weeks to get fit, smarter and etc. Should I go for it?"
I would say no. I'd say don't go for it. And I'm going to explain something to you. If you do that, then that will look like you're used an opportunity that is available to no one, which makes identity politics, which can also bring on, disdain from those that you become in a team with. The expectation is when you join the military, you see it's not a game, that you go in there, it's a professional last frontier, and that when you go in there that you have the self-starting motivating capability to find the answers and then do the work. If you're unfit, fantastic. You realise that, so do something about it. Get yourself some good shoes.
Yeah,
Okay.
get yourself fit.
Get out there and do it. Aboriginals are notoriously good at fitness-related activities, and I don't doubt that you can as well, mate. Give yourself a fighting chance without taking an easy option. That's what I'd say.
Exactly, because even with these pre-enlistment courses, I imagine you still have to do the work. It's not going to do the work for you. So you may as well just get started, get yourself motivated, and being a self-starter is really important, especially if you want a career in the ADF. You have to be able to motivate yourself.
And one of the other things too, Lauren, is that will only protect you to get to Kapuka. That's it. And after that, when there's no social media groups or identity politics groups, who are getting a feather in their cap or even paid to create this for you, despite the fact that it hurts you more than it helps you, what's going to happen if you're undercooked and then you get to, that doesn't finish the rest of Kapuka, it's not waiting for you at any other core that you go to once you get out of Kapuka, and then it can be, holy shit, mate, you came unprepared. What was the go there?
Yeah, it might not help you much in the long run. And so I say just get started. You know what you need to do. Motivate yourself. You make those changes. And really, if you can do that and prove that to yourself, that you can do it without anyone's help like that, you will have so much more confidence in yourself. Gosh, the sky will be the limit.
And the other thing is, one day, when you get in the military and you've achieved your goals, you're going to be giving advice to another Indigenous soldier. And you're going to be saying to him, no, mate, don't do it that way. Do not do it that way. Yeah, exactly. Stand up on your own 2 feet. If you're proud, then you stand up and be proud, and you prove to people that you hold your own weight.
Yeah, exactly. And you can do it. You can do it. Lots of people, we see them in here all the time who aren't fit. They get themselves fit, and then it's really just consistency. It takes about 2 weeks to make a new habit. So just make sure for that first 2 weeks you keep going, living the new life of fitness.
Yep. What are your legs? Steel springs. What are they going to do? They're going to hurl me down the track.
You're going to make me cry. That bit always gets me.
It does. It's a beautiful part. Gallipoli. Team, if you haven't watched Gallipoli, watch it.
Oh, yeah.
If you watch Gallipoli and you watch The Light Horseman, that's all the motivation you need. You don't need Jocko. You don't need bloody, what's his name?
I wouldn't know.
Anyway.
You don't need that guy, whoever he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Prod Usher, 49, has said, hey mate, I sprained my ankle during my application and have been waiting 11 months for whether or not to appeal. I've moved from New South Wales to Queensland. Can I just reapply to the Queensland office?
Well, you'd have to anyway. You'd have to go in there and say, hey, look, I applied in New South Wales, wherever, and now I'm letting you know that this is where I am in the mix. I want to get on the books. I need a new case manager. And then from there, they'll update the details, and then you have a communication with them, and they'll take it from there, mate.
Okay, Noah Gallagher has asked, I wonder how hard to commando selection is.
It's hard. Really hard. Yeah, really hard. Because it's a competition as well.
Yeah, exactly. And there's some guys who are super fit, like athletes, who are vying for the same spots.
Yep. Absolutely.
So really be up against it if you're wanting to go straight from City Street. Okay, Simon B has asked, hey Kaz, I'm looking at joining the infantry, but have recently had doubts about it. Does this mean I'm not ready, or does it happen to everyone?
No, it happens to everyone. The closer you get to something, the more real it becomes. The more scary it comes, and it's normally called separation anxiety. We get the same thing about going on operations. We get the same thing about going outfield. The same thing about going on courses. You know there's going to be a definitive moment in your life where you go from comfort, not much responsibility, to perform straight away. And don't show any weakness, despite the fact you're standing, sleeping in the rain, water, mud, but still expected to come up with exactly the same results. And then told it's actually good for us if it's raining, because it means that the enemy's hunkered down and we get closer. You know, while he's got audio shut out with his head in a hood, and then we win the day. So it's quite normal, mate. It's what you do next that determines, okay, whether you're going to make it or not.
Yep. Okay, Rocco's transformation.
Good name.
So, do you have to get vaccines in the ADF?
Yes.
Buttloads of them, right?
You're going to get more pricks than Elton John. Yeah.
Yep. You may even get new medicines trialled on you.
Yep. Had that too.
Yep. There's you and JP alike have had that. So, you know, if you're worried about things like that, you may want to reconsider.
And look,
Okay.
there's a lot of fake news out there too. Like, I got told that the medication they give you in the army is going to make you have a really big nose, and
Not true.
and snore and give you skinny legs. And I went,
You didn't have any of those things before you joined, did
no,
you?
no.
JP has asked you if you have watched a film called The Last Breath. I watched it with him the other night, and I don't normally like really exciting films because they stress me out, but I've got to say, it was really good.
Oh, okay.
About saturation diving and that, it's really, really good. If you get a chance to watch it, you should watch it.
I would definitely watch that because I've been watching Mr. Ballin a lot, and
Yeah, me too.
and he does a lot on saturation diving.
Yeah, well, in fact, it's that same. I watched a Mr. Ballin the other day, and this film is actually about one of the true stories that he talks about.
Yeah.
So it's really worth watching.
Daz is asking something about how did the lever action get on the green screen. Daz, I meant to have a bloody Hyundai on there for you, but I'd already gone through Adobe Premiere Pro and I'd imported this before it's turned into some weird version of what it looked excellent. This did before it inverted, and then the darkness came over it. But the lever action rifle that was in here before, I was looking around for random photos and pictures that make people just go, completely unrelated other than the Coca-Cola theme. And lever actions have got so much, what do you call it? Now it looks like I've been shot in the head. Look, bam, headache, migraine. That'd be a good thumbnail. Yeah, so I'm a big fan of the lever action because it always reminds me of the Winchesters from sitting with my father when we were allowed to have toy guns and play cowboys and Indians, and that wasn't considered racist.
Yeah, I used to play Cowboys and Indians too.
Hello, Pocahontas.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was always a score. Okay, Dusty Rhodes has we shook feathers, you know.
And then got lice.
Yeah, no, chickens have lice. Good heavens. Okay, Dusty Rhodes has said, Kaz, unanswerable question, how much do you love him?
Dusty Rhodes, it's more than a track winding back to an old-fashioned shack, as a matter of fact. You know, I've done a lot of time on Dusty Roads, mate. You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
and I knew your girl that used to have too much Rocky Road. And
Yeah. Make really nice Rocky Road. Okay. Keg7Z has said, hey Kaz, was turned back as medical class 4 over a year ago, but have now made the necessary changes and I'm giving it another crack as signals officer with my assessment day coming up. Any advice?
mate, it sounds like you've done a lot of work. Just be prepared that gun as signals officer, very serious role, very high security rating. They just want to have medical proof that you are a new version of you. The fact that you're coming back and reapplying says a lot about your tenacity, your get up and go. No, mate, it's as you get closer, contact me if you need to, and we'll have a conversation and go from there. Yeah.
Yep.
Good
for
luck.
sure.
Good luck. Well done.
Yep. Okay, Tasmanian Devil is here, and they have said, hey Kaz, I have my assessment session tomorrow. I've done my research, and my number one preference is infantry. Any last minute advice or wisdom?
Yep. I would just say to you, mate, when they be prepared that you're normally not going to have someone from infantry that is taking you through that assessment session, they might say, why infantry? Why infantry, and you can say, because it's the one role that is so different to anything in the civilian sector. I believe that when people say soldier, the one thing that they all think of first is infantry, regardless of the last 2,000 years of soldiering. The other thing they think of is cavalry, which is armour, and the other one is artillery. I think that infantry, I want to be part of a team. I want to share my day-to-day with a group of like-minded people who are like me, which means I can do my fitness during the day, during part of my job, instead of after hours. And I like the fact that hive-minded solutions to big tasks, and this is going to be a 24-hour lifestyle, and I just can't wait to be part of it.
Yep, exactly.
The big adventure.
Yeah, exactly. The great adventure.
Never say things like, I like guns. I like guns, and all that sort of shit. They're not going to understand that.
Exactly. Okay, remember we were talking about Brent Mail going on the 5th of March? It is for infantry reserves. You're in the book, Brent.
He's in the book. Yeah.
Okay, talking about the book, Jack Ferguson said, hey, Kaz,
Good
cheers
name.
for the videos. Been watching last couple of months, really helped me out. I'm off to Kapuka on April the 13th, joining infantry.
That's only just over 10 days from Anzac Day.
Yeah.
And with a name like Jack
Ferguson.
Jack Ferguson sounds like a man that can get things done. Imagine if you were playing up with a lady and you found out her partner's name was Jack Ferguson. That sounds like a man that can throw his fists.
You would run away, wouldn't you?
Well, I wouldn't do it, but...
No, of course.
13th of April, Jack Ferguson. You can be your name can be Jack, but don't be Jack. Jack is the word in the military for the guy who basically is a traitor to the team. So if they go, don't be Jack, and you go, here I am, just letting you know.
Yep, exactly. Thomas Tapakai has said, hey, Kaz.
Good name.
I really want to join ADF. It's a dream job. Been watching you for a while. Just wondering, how far do I aim to run to be ready for the ADF?
Mate, I spoke about this at the start, and Carl, if he's still here, what I'd recommend is that recovery, is one of the best things you can do. We discussed this before, mate. There's going to be a video coming out real soon. Make sure you subscribe right now if you haven't subscribed already, team. And that would be to go out and find a kilometre running track. I mean, a 500 metre from your front door, or an area you can go to generally flat, which is safe to run in, season weather or terrain, and actually go and do that run, as hard as you can, and that will create your personal best for 1 kilometre. 20 minutes, do it again. 20 minutes, do it again. Then you've got 3 kilometres you've run with 20 minutes between them. They're going to get slower. Divide it by 3, and that becomes your average split over 3 kilometres. And then next time you do it, how about you make it 15 minutes? And then after that, how about you make it 10 minutes? And then make it 5 minutes. There you go.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Okay, Luke is loving life. He's dropping in from Singo. He said Singo's great, doing a lot of cool stuff. He also adds that anyone wanting to join infantry, it's going to be very hard at Singo, but you do more cool stuff than you would have expected. So there you go, a bit of encouragement, folks.
Could we have, sorry, what's the gentleman's name?
Luke is loving life.
Luke is loving life for starters, mate. Thank you very much. And good luck to you, and you're going to get your Skippy badge soon enough, mate. What Luke says there is so true. What he just said then could not be better. I couldn't say better, because when I did, you go, it's okay for you, Kaz, you're qualified. You're just looking back on something. Luke is there right now.
Yep.
Luke could almost run this stream now because he's so current, and he's telling you with his own words everything that I've just said. He's echoing what I've said, that he's saying it's all worth it. He's telling you that it's goddamn hard.
It's hard.
You know, but he's also telling you how cool it is. So no matter what anyone tells you about don't do this, don't do that, you're hearing from someone right now who doesn't think he's above the stream by coming here, listening, learning, and giving back to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a fantastic effort. Luke is loving life, and Luke, I'm loving you, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in a Popeye kind of way. Well done, Luke. Can we get some thumbs up in the crowd, in the chat there for Luke, for him and his section and his platoon? Don't tell us what your platoon is, mate. Okay. Can we get some thumbs up down there? You know, well done, mate.
Yeah, we're loving it that you're loving your life. That's really good. You put in the work, and now you get to reap the rewards.
Yep.
Okay, Alpha Bravo has said thoughts on being obese and getting in shape and joining the ADF. Realistic? Question mark.
Well, it depends what obese means. Do you have a perplexity for putting on body weight? Is it because you've had poor role models? Is it because you have a low self-esteem? There's a whole lot of things to unpack there, mate. But how about this? That you treat this like this is the path to recovery from obesity. Train smart. Get some great joggers. Spend some money. Get the body armor, you know, which would take smart training to get you into a position where you don't actually create injuries for yourself. And as you lose weight by eating to the point system, which might be Jenny Craig, etc., fantastic way to lose weight. Okay, it works with discipline. You could very well reclaim your life back. And whether you get in the military or whether you don't, maybe that is the fuse, that is the lane that you chose that gave you back the best version of you. And people become believers when they actually see the actions you're taking rather than just potentially saying it's not my fault, etc. So hats off to you, mate. Well done. And I think you've got a great chance. But make sure, okay, that you do something about it. Don't just talk about it.
There's some cows happening in the chat. There's a cow there. It's a secret cow from Teach. And they say, how many opportunities would there be for things like taking photos between starting Kapuka and finishing infantry? Also, your opinions on weekend at Bernie's happening.
Okay. I have a very low thought process for left-leaning people that can't see what has occurred. And I knew this was going to happen from the start. So that's my opinion on that. I don't have to like someone, okay, however, to lead a country, but there's nothing he's doing that is linked to leadership at all. And I believe he's a traitor to his country, and I believe his party is a traitor to their country. I think it's reprehensible, and I think that, America's going to have a really big price to pay. Where they go from here, I don't know, but I wish them the luck. I love America. You know, I love the people that are there, but they had the best leader that this world's had, and they just lost him.
Bad case of buyer's remorse right now, aren't they?
Yep, and everyone tried to tell them.
Coming and they're bombing places, and it's all gone a bit.
And no one's holding them account.
Yeah, exactly.
The opportunities for photography, you won't get opportunities for photography, mate. One, you won't be having your phone on you, and you won't be walking around with a camera. Yeah, you won't get those opportunities, mate. Sad to say.
Okay, Cooper Fay asked this question before, and he kindly repeated it for me because I didn't get to it. What is your opinion on joining the infantry at 17? As I am thinking of enlisting next year and have been training for a while and can do over 40 push-ups and 60 sit-ups and have been running.
I categorically do not agree with 17. Okay, yeah, we've done a
physical, is it? It's mental as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of facets, and you've got to remember that people are going to have you accepting their team in an emergency where the borders are in danger, you know, and we need everyone on deck, you know, and there's limited amount of people. I'd say yes, but give yourself the best chance of success. There's not a rush to get in. Wait till you're 18 or 19. Keep training. You know, you're happy you can do 40 push-ups, fine. But let me tell you something. When I was a platoon sergeant, I was doing 100 push-ups in 2 minutes. You know, I was running in high 8s, in the BFAs. So what you call fit is not necessarily what we call fit. Okay, and we want you to have the best chance. And I don't believe that anyone should be allowed to join a military and then not be allowed to have a beer. And if they did, that becomes an alcohol-related incident or put someone else in a position for giving them alcohol. So to avoid the administrational dramas, just wait a little bit longer, keep training and give yourself the best chance. Because the last thing you want is people saying, either come back in a year because of something you've done, something you've said, which puts you way back on the pile and puts a stripe beside your name. But you also don't want someone that loves you to say that I don't want him to be there, and they can revoke your ability to be at Kapuka, etc. I don't think it should be happening. But in saying that, it's still up to you, and it's an opportunity you can do, and it is down to you. So if you want to do it, go for it. But infantry's it can be a nasty world, right, if you're not prepared.
Okay, sorry, I'm moving right along because there is still quite a few questions. You're much in demand tonight.
Let's go.
Ashton Pegler has said, hey man, I asked this question before, but I had to go and didn't hear if you answered it. We didn't answer it. Sorry, I had to skip ahead.
That was our chance to lie.
Yeah, my fault. Sorry, I do apologise. But what happens if you might not pass English or math in grade 10, but you do grade 11 and 12?
I actually don't know what happens when they say, what was the last years of tertiary you do, and you go year 11 and 12? Did you pass year 10 and did you pass year 11 and 12 in English and Maths? If you did, then that should definitely supersede year 10. That shouldn't be a problem if you've done that.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because I think even if you're a good candidate, they can even, I believe, offer you some remedial education for some things too. So
Bridging courses.
Yeah, exactly. So that is a possibility also. Okay, Guardian has asked, sorry to repeat it like a million times, sorry, that is my fault again. But for the MPs, would you say close protection or dog handling is better?
I'd definitely go the dog handling, mate. If I'm going to be outfield, having the distraction, having a German Shepherd with me, I'd be stoked. Close protection normally means you're going to be around someone. I don't know. It's going to be boring, I guess.
Yeah, it might be a bit boring, and you may be a little bit unpopular. This might even be an unpopular opinion, but what I've heard on the grapevine is that sometimes MPs...
And I've never met a happy MP either.
Popular.
Yeah.
Okay, moving right along, Mark Zamp has said, hey Kaz and Lauren, how can I learn to prevent injury and to look after my feet? It's actually really important for folks to look after their feet in the army, correct?
It is, but it's also a necessary evil to get used to being uncomfortable and living on what feels like lame feet at times. There is times where I can't even walk. My feet were that brutalised after walking either 40 kilometres, whether it be patrolling, whether it be getting waterlogged feet. You can't just wear waterproof boots, etc., because then the heat that occurs in your boots creates another problem. There is no real solution. You'll get taught along the way. Change socks, but not during the day. Change socks at night time, okay, when you're going to go in the sleeping bag and let them dry out a bit. When you get opportunities, in a tactical environment, you take your boot off one at a time and get some sun on it to try and dry it out. It's just one of those necessary things, and some people's feet are pussies, and no matter what they do, their feet copper caning.
Yeah, true. Okay, Freeze has said, hey, in the trenches with Kaz, I'm off to Kapuka on March the 9th.
March the 9th? Freeze!
Yeah, is there any items I should bring that aren't on the thing, on the list? Look, maybe someone else can help you with that question, but you generally say...
They give you a list for a reason. That's all you're going to need, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a photo, like you said. Yeah.
And Freeze, just so you know, mate, you're going in with Jetty Boy, Tyson, BB, Kyle, Mitch, Athleon, Lion, okay, and Nicholas 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and it's going to be great. Yep. So go in there. It's they call me Freeze.
Yes,
You know,
indeed.
BB Ace, is that you? No. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, nothing. Great to have you here, mate.
It is. Luke is loving life. Said, thanks, Kaz. Wouldn't be here in part without you.
Oh, thanks, mate.
It's been months since I've been on a stream and thought I'd pop in, and I happen to be at Singer Net. Well, we love it when you pop back in. We understand that you live in your life and you live in your dreams and that you're busy doing all sorts of stuff, and we really, really appreciate it when you spare us a thought.
Look down at your hands.
Yeah.
There, mate, and Luke, he's loving life. And just remember, you're going to have an entrenching tool in those for 10 days soon. And you are going to feel like you have the thorns of Christ on your on your hands. You're going to be never been sorer. The ambassador's here.
Yeah.
There you go, mate. He joined us in Patreon the other day. Fantastic to have you here, mate. DFR should be paying you commission, Kaz.
Well,
Look,
I don't think they always like what we say, but
I don't think they always like it, but they're probably also, Lauren, going, just keep doing what you're doing.
look, it's just the questions we get. It's you guys just come here with the questions. You know, Kaz just answers the questions. You guys are. You know, he's not setting out to convince you to do anything. You guys are the ones who are answering the call.
It's true. And this one's for you, Ambassador. And remember, if he's in a tent, that becomes an embassy.
That should make you happy. Welcome, Calamari.
Guys and gals, if you didn't ask the questions, we wouldn't have the channel. That's the thing. Where there's supply and there's demand. You know, these guys are ace. I love knowing that, you know, we could have done anything when we got out of the military.
Yeah.
You know, but we've chosen something together that has made a hive, which has allowed our Jay Hayes, which has allowed Robbie Kent, Dave D, who at the moment's on his parade himself, who's allowed Luke to come back and feel like, you know, that he's had support before, during, and after his career.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Same like all the veterans here, JP, Simon.
Yep.
You know, I don't anyone out. You, Stoddy, all of you. You know, this is a great place where heaps of different people who wouldn't normally mingle together get to, you know.
Well, look who's here now. We've got Dave Penson, who's an ex-WO1, okay, an RSM who's here, who now lives in Vietnam.
Yep.
You know, he wouldn't be here if he thought I was wasting his time. So he's here, and he's full of shit. He's telling you you're going to see the golf course a lot, because even back in his day, they'd tell you turn up with your clubs. You won't get to use them, but we're going to get out of here in about 2 minutes. If we want to do two more questions, Lauren.
Okay, I have a couple more questions. Chongo has been very patient and said, if you join the infantry reserves and love it, how hard is it to transfer to full time?
It depends how full infantry is. But it shouldn't be that way, Chongo. It shouldn't be go to try before you buy army reserve, which is not a true indication of what it's like to do it every 24 hours in the regular army. I don't believe in try before you buy. I believe in tear the band-aid off, be committed, you know, and go in there and have a crack and go 100%, not walk into the shallows and slowly work your way into where it's comfortable. Because almost everything we do is training for the inevitable. Then what do you do next? You know.
You won't believe who's in the chat.
Who's that?
Derek. I wonder if it's your Derek. Derek Oz is here, and he said, "Hi Kaz, just ran 2 kilometres for 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Will I be able to join the military again if I joined at 18 and was discharged being said I was too young? I'm 21 now and mature."
For starters, we never say that we're mature. You let other people tell you that you're mature. Mate, so you went to join at 18 and they said that you needed to wait a year. I take it. Now you're 21 and you want to go back, you should be fine. You know, the fact that you come back, most people don't come back when they've been told to go away, because life then presents them with something else that distracts them from that. If you tried at 18 and you came back at 21 and you were good to go, you know, I'd give you a crack. You know, it's attitude that makes soldiers the perfect fit. You know, not necessarily just stats that they present. So, mate, all the best, and let us know how you go. We need a Derek in uniform.
Yeah, we do. Oh, thank you, Abs. There's a seasick cow from Abs. I think you
Hey, Abs.
gave thing, Abs. You're doing again. Oh, Mr. Buckarooni's here.
Mr. Buckaroony, can we quickly...
Natsu cow.
This is Notsu Cows going out to Abs here. Thank you very much, Abs.
I accept.
And there's something we need to quickly let you know
Yep.
about Mr. Buckaroony.
Yes.
Mr. Buckaroony has just invited me into what one of his new visions is for helping people, where our Patreon is going to help, and this is going to be up your corridor. Lauren, sorry, I'll take that back.
Thank you.
Basically, what's happening is with foster kids, you've seen with the shelters for women how they give them their grace back by getting a bag, putting things in it, necessities, all that sort of stuff for shelters. Well, foster kids apparently a lot of the time when children go to their new gaining family often turn up with nothing of their own that they can treasure and feel like that everything they get is something that's then being given to them. So there's none of that little teddy bear that is always with them, so to speak. So what we're going to do in North Queensland, Bucko's doing this. He's got other people in other areas doing this as well. And we tried to contact the foster care Western Sydney branch today, and they weren't answering their phones. You know, but what we're going to do is we're going to get some bags for children, and we're going to put some toys in there, some different things around, toothbrushes, all that sort of stuff. So they've got a bit of dignity and a little bit of agency, and we're going to do that for them.
Some of them, like, they rock up, they're already going through a crisis because that's how they end up there, and they don't have anything.
Yep.
So just knowing that somebody out there cares, and that somebody out there is going to give them a little bit of comfort or something that's just theirs might make the world a difference to some kids, may actually change their lives. And Mr. Buckroni has a great video up about it. I think it was the last upload he did. So I think people should definitely go check that out.
I think one of the best things that you can give a child is like a teddy bear or something like that, because that's something we all have, a stuffed animal that regardless of how old we get, we never throw away because it was in the trenches with us no matter what we did, no matter where we went. It was our go-to that's been there from our youth. So I think that's a beautiful thing that they can have in bed with them. And we're going to do that.
Exactly. Can I read you Abs's question?
Of course.
Okay. Hey Kaz, in regards to the medical, I have a lazy eye. I haven't had any problems growing up with it. I do wear glasses for reading and screen, but will it affect the outcome of getting into Kapuka?
As long as it doesn't affect your eyesight, you should be fine. It could even mean that you're better at the job. You're patrolling your arcs in two directions at once. Fantastic. It shouldn't affect you.
It took me a minute to get that.
And you know what? It happens to most people as they get older as well anyway. One eye goes on walkabout.
Yeah, I haven't had that happen, thankfully. But I did have problems with my eyes, if you remember, this year. And that's no good for an artist, I can tell you that.
It's scary. One more question. Let's go for another one.
Okay, one more. Oh, look, Spartan is here, and he's saying, yo, how's it going, Kaz? Long time no see. I marched out of Kapukistan last Friday.
You Greek boy lover. I'm Roman. Yeah. I'm a Roman. Mate, fantastic.
Terrific.
So he's out. That's awesome, mate. You know, that means that this Anzac Day, you are a qualified Australian Rising Sun recipient. Well done, mate.
Yep, indeed. You know, that wolf man with the... He's freaking me out. It's creepy.
Yeah, shave your face, you freak.
Okay, here's the last question.
Okay,
Brent Mayle, who you've got in the book now for joining the reserves soon, said, hey, Kaz and team, is there a way to join Special Forces but remain reserve?
Yes. That's the 1 Commando Regiment. Okay, the 1st Commando Regiment is an Army Reserve regiment. Okay, a lot of cops go in there, you know, and you can apply for that. Yeah, yep, that's what it's called. 1 Commando Regiment.
That's great. There's your questions. We did it. That was a lot of questions. You answered a lot of questions today.
We did, and I actually quite like this rather than always trying to come up with this is the pitch for tonight, so to speak.
Yeah. I think we all like a bit of both. You know,
Yeah.
we like everything you create, whether you're, you know, doing something focused or whether it's just a free-for-all like this. Everyone else probably likes it too. I like it. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps the moderators on their toes. That's for sure.
Do we like the background screen continually changing, or do you want something just to be permanent?
I quite like the slideshow, but I wish the words weren't backwards.
Yeah, that's it. And this lady on there with the Coca-Cola now, I don't know what happened, because when I go back into my files, it works perfectly. It's only when I put it on Streamlabs that it goes all apeshit and is so dark you can't see. Every one of these pictures was vetted to be able to be on here tonight, and every one of them looks goofy AF.
Yeah, but it's, you know, it's just weird, isn't it? Gremlins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all like it. That's great. Well, we'll do these every now and then.
I'll make a bunch of
Wait,
I'll make a
you can
bunch of
tell
different
me
ones.
one last little
Of course I have.
question.
Of course.
Jesse Bray, who is there with his little lady snuggled up,
Yeah.
has said, best part of your day, Kaz.
The best part of my day.
Yeah.
Like I tell everyone at the moment, it's probably being part of QPM at the moment. If I'm not talking about being around my daughter, so to speak, it's probably the way the shares are going at the moment. Queensland Pacific Metals. Whoo! Let me just say that I feel like I've made the right decision, and I feel like I'm concreting my daughter's future. This is not about me. This is about my daughter's future.
And please seek independent financial advice.
Absolutely. Don't come to this drongo.
That's great. Great stream. Mr. Buckaroo, we can't do that. You know what YouTube's like. We can't put nudie girls in the background.
And you know that Roz wouldn't let you look at it anyway. Stop being tough on our stream when you know you won't do it in your own. All right. I'll see you later. Let's get out of here. Thank you all for being who you are. If you haven't subscribed yet, you're insane. Your brown paper bag off the reservation, everything that goes with it.
Go have a picnic.
Never be the victim. Never tolerate victims. Okay, you make people earn what they put on the table, and they'll appreciate the taste, and they'll appreciate the sleep, and they'll appreciate the friendship and the guidance, and you be with them for the whole journey. And if they can't do something, then you show them a better way of doing it, and you do it with them, and you be as dirty as what they are to learn. And then you will teach a man to fish. Guys and gals, we came here tonight. We said any question. You asked him. You didn't really test us too much. You could have done a lot worse, but you didn't. Lauren, again, thank you very much. Mr. Buckaroony, thank you very much. The moderators always here, and the members that bring out the green screen in the chat. Love yous.
Yeah.
Justin, Lincoln, Park, Carl. I can't wait to see what your next splits are, because now I've got to go out and find what my new PB is. And the video is coming towards you too. And your butt is going to sweat, team. All the best.
Good night.
Girls and boys.